3 sprain in my right ankle when my husband pulled my boot off.
Okay, I didn't even know that there were levels. So that's
yeah, it's just a fancy way of saying more torn things. So like when I pulled my boot off, I could push like the bubble in my foot or the. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, yeah, that same thing. You know how sprains are. Take forever.
Hey, girls.
No, really.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Pull it down just a little.
Hey, Kels.
Hey,
How's it going?
pretty good. You?
Good. All right, can you guys see? Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we just talked about the opportunity a little bit, and now we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't know why. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so on the screen is Jen, who's from Truly Lake.
Hi.
Calls all day today. And C, who is in Eastern Oregon right now. Are you on a different time zone than us?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Mountain Time. I live in Ontario.
Oh, okay, she's on
Okay.
the
Perfect. Well, I'm glad you guys could jump on. I'm going to see if Sage is jumping on real quick. Sage is in Arizona. And are people on your team? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with recognition for tonight. So people who have built their team this month, so they've added a new consultant to their team, is Jen. Yay. Shannon.
Yay!
Thank you.
Good job. I love the earrings if you did.
And Judy has 2 new people on her team.
Oh, thank you.
And the little thing is that bookmark. I saw that. That's adorable.
That is.
Since, you know, I'm a reader now. Because of Arbonne, I know how to read now. Also, last month, Rhiannon trained on the $2,500 building block and how important that is for building your business, and that's like a steady growth. And in addition to your commission from that, which is approximately $500, you also get a $100 cash bonus from Arbonne. And so Judy did that too. Good job. There you go.
4 roses.
And so we have 3 people in qualification for district manager. So we're going to be cheering them on. They went into qualification last month, and so hope they'll finish in the month of May. So we have 30 days to finish up. And those people are Jen Ackley, Megan Eddy, and Judy Ferguson.
Hi.
Yay! So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight was social media and how to utilize that within your business without being obnoxious. And so there's I think our team does a really good job of not being overly aggressive on social media. And I think the key to that is showing how Arbonne relates to your daily life. So if it's 3 o'clock and you're sitting at your desk and you want to take a nap, you snap a picture of your fizz stick and you're like, thank goodness I'm going to make it to the end of the day. Or I was supposed to be off at 3:30, so good thing I have my protein bar. If you want the recipe, you know, comment below and I'll send it to you. So always adding value to people's life. Or if, like last year, Kelsey got a sunburn. And
I did.
she got a great post about using the gelée on her sunburn and got a ton of response. And so that sort of thing is super, like, if it's happening to you and you are feeling like this is, it's probably going to help somebody else as well. So doing one post daily, not necessarily a post about like 30 days, join me, but something about how it's incorporated in your life. Or like I'll do one of, you know, here I am sitting at a rodeo, but I'm also able to work my business at the same time. So no matter where you're at or what you're doing, still
can see you.
800 miles last weekend is now a tax write-off because it was business. So no matter where you're at or what you're doing, Arbonne is probably there in some way, shape, or form. Or it's finally a nice day. Shirt glass has in it too. Just something little, and it's not a picture of a product. It's you in your life, because everybody. Maybe you don't, Norma, because you have great complexion.
I get something one time. One time.
A lot of people can just, you know, it's finally outside, so we're finally gonna, you know, wear sleeveless shirts and expose our whiteness, so somebody can help. I got 2 new preferred clients last week from a post that I showed my legs of one being white and one having a coat of the sunless tanner.
The what?
The sunless tanner. And so people just commented or liked it. And here's the other thing. When someone likes a post, you need to reach out to them and follow up with just a thank you for liking my post. And then you can add them into your VIP group, because everybody should have a VIP group that we did your virtual launch on. And those are the people that are wanting or interested in more Arbonne. So that's where you're going to put more product posts, whereas on your personal page, you're doing more like teaser lifestyle posts. Does that make sense? The other way to get engagement that is really effective is by using your Instagram story. So it goes away in 24 hours, but you're able to expose it to hundreds of people. And using a poll on there is really, really effective. So you post 30-day group is starting May 9th. Next picture is a before and after, either yours, ideally yours, because people will recognize you. They will then know, like, this is legit, this is you, this is, you know, and so then like a before and after, then some other sort of something, whether it's a testimonial or product, and then a poll. So saying like, I'm tired of waiting, or I'm in, or send me more information. The key with the poll is to make sure that you have 2 positives. So it automatically pops up as a yes and no, but you can change that. You can write on it and change it. So I always write, sign me up or send me more info. And then people will vote on it. And so it's a great way to have people reaching out to you. And I've had people comment or like it, and then I'll go back to it, and they'll say, you know, send me more info, and I will follow up with them. People that have never ever liked a post ever. I've never talked to them on ever, yet they posted or clicked send me more info, and then it gives me a reason to reach out to them. So people, whether they're liking or commenting or not, they're watching. And so you want to be able to show your personal story, not just product, because that's obnoxious. So showing your story, how, because of Arbonne, I'm able to do this, or because of this, I'm able to do that, or are actually not eating candy bars because they're eating the homemade protein recipe. And so then you can add value to somebody's life by giving them the protein recipe and telling them, hey, you can get it at 20% off as a part client, blah, blah, blah. So giving them some more information. Jen does a really good job of doing her posts and like showing things in her post. Jen, how often do you post, do you think? Just total?
Probably one, I don't know, like every other day, or
Okay.
I kind of go on a thing. Sometimes it'll be every day, but just like one thing.
Okay. What about you, Kelsey? How often are you posting?
I try not to overload my stories because I do like the Facebook and the Instagram stories too. So it's usually like once or twice a week.
Okay.
I try not to do as much on my actual Facebook page, but I'm trying to be better at it. So I've got some more products that I kind of want to show, and like you were saying, to add value to. So I'm going to try my own sunless tanner deal and see. I ordered some of that, so we'll see how that works.
Perfect. You're going to love it. The good thing about the Instagram story is like if you use something like today, you can reuse it in a couple of days because it goes away. So when somebody looks at your whole like profile and they see all the stuff, you know, it's there forever. But on your story, it goes away. So you can kind of rewrap it around to save you some time. So Instagram stories, the other thing about it is it keeps popping up in people's feeds the more that you post. Now, I follow a lot of people that have like 40 things across their top, and I'm like, moving on. But if they have between...
You mean the hashtags?
No, the story on top.
The little circles, and
The little circles.
you know, but it'll tell you whose story it is. You can click on it and watch whatever they've got going on.
So,
Yeah.
So not super great on
so up here. Oh, okay. So like here's Rhiannon. So my sponsor, she's at a track meet right now. But her story before that was the new strawberry fizz stick that's coming out. Before that, when your friends also become addicts and are patiently waiting, when can I order my strawberry crack sticks? Her one before that was congratulating a new district manager. So a good combination of things in her life and business. So wrapping that into in something that's inspirational, something that's business related, something that's, you know, your actual life, because people want to be in business with people who they know, like, and trust. They also want to be in business with people who they can relate to. So if they know that, you know, you are working 3 jobs right now and you're still, you know, kicking butt and bringing people onto your team, they're like, well, maybe I'm not so busy. Maybe I don't have an excuse. Let me look at this. Let me be open to what the opportunity looks like. There's a girl in, I just read about her. She's a senior in high school and just went to regional vice president.
Wow.
She's driving a brand new Mercedes and she's a senior in high school. Not a bad gig, huh?
There you go.
Like, so it doesn't matter. Like, there's no restrictions. It's totally up to you.
We met a gal in Starbucks the night her and I met.
That's what she said.
She's like, I was just eavesdropping, and are you an Arbonne consultant? Well, so am I. She was so upbeat. And
Yeah.
She goes OIT and just has this goal of having a consultant in every state, and she was cute.
I was totally thinking of her 5 to 10 days yesterday because that was my day.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I have is about staying plugged in, and Jen went off. She was supposed to train on this.
Right towards the end of her, she froze.
Are you done? Sorry, I'm trying to come back. I don't know what happened. My internet quit. Okay.
She wasn't sure, like, that's what happened.
I know. I'll skip you and come back. Okay, so we'll skip to staying plugged in because Jen was going to talk about that. So setting your intention. So it's the first of the month, which aside from Monday is like my second favorite day ever is the first of the month. And so setting your intention, like what does the month look like for you? What do you want to accomplish? Do you even know what you want to accomplish? Because for like a couple years, I had no idea. I relied on Rhiannon to tell me, you go for the month. I'm like, okay. Because I honestly didn't have time to think about it. And so she told me, and then we break it down. All right, this means that you're going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, I'm on it. And then I would go. So depending on what your personal style is, if you like to set your goals, if you want help with setting goals, I feel like a lot of times new consultants don't even realize the possibility that they have within themselves. And so I'm like, no, I get too client friendly. But what about if you did so like my job is to like paint the bigger picture for you. Setting intention with last month, Rhiannon trained on the 40 faces and that document. It's the first of the month, so print another one out so that you can keep track. So who did you actually talk to? How many preferred clients did you actually sign up? What consultants did you sponsor? I love that document for keeping track because it could be the 15th and you're like, crap, I've only talked to 2 people. I think about Arbonne a lot, but apparently I didn't talk to anybody about it. So then you can, kind of self-regulate. But setting your intention daily. So I do it that night so that my next morning, I don't have to think about it and I don't have time to talk myself out of it. So a lot of times,
you have an intention every day.
Yes. So who am I going to talk to that day? So my list of people that if I don't run into them, I will be calling them of who I'm going to talk to. And then what are you asking them? Are you asking them to join your business? Are you asking them to give you feedback on the 30-day? Are you asking them to join you for coffee? Like, what are you actually going to say? Because I think that sometimes we talk to people, and I know that I'm totally guilty of doing this, that we talk to people, but we never ask them. We're like, yeah, I'm doing Arbonne. Isn't it great? I love this product. I love this. I love that. I love that. They're like, good for you. So what are you asking them? Would you like them to join your team? Would you like them to take a look at the 30-day? Would you like them to get 5 people in their living room so that you can share? So knowing what you're actually asking for so that you're actually asking something. You're not just saying, here's a sample, Merry Christmas, because they're not going to get back to you, right? So ask, and then if you do have a deadline for them to come back, like, hey, if I were to send you a video, would you watch it tonight? And then tomorrow at noon, I can check back into you. So you have an end date so that you're not chasing them. It doesn't become weird when you're like, oh, remember that one time I gave you that one thing? Or then they don't respond to you and then you feel like you're like, but if you set an appointment with them, that's normal. And it's normal for the doctor's office to set an appointment with you and then follow up and be like, hey, don't forget, come on in tomorrow. So that's just professional. And it will definitely up your numbers, guaranteed. If you talk to somebody, give them a follow-up date. If you give them a sample, give them a follow-up date. I really don't like samples a whole lot because we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there's really not a lot of risk in the product. And I always make sure that I'm checking back in with them before that 30 days and making sure that they are 100% satisfied. Because when they hear about Arbonne, I don't ever want them to think like, oh, I fixed it. Right. I want them to be happy. And when they think about Arbonne, they think of a positive experience that they had. Whether it was, they may not love the product, but hopefully they still love you. You know what I mean? They want to think that you were on their side. You weren't trying to just take their money and run. That you care about them. So setting your intention every day, whether you do it, if you're a morning person, you get up and you do it that day, or you do it the night before so that you're ready to go the next day. Who will you be talking to? A list, and what are you specifically asking them for? And then, in green on the bottom, I have for the month of June, so knowing where you're headed, in June, I have had blank conversations, sponsored blank new PCs.
So what sponsored? What do you mean by sponsored?
That they are direct to you. So you have 5 new
PCs.
preferred clients that signed up under you.
Okay.
Or new independent consultants that have signed up under you.
Okay.
And your total volume. So, and then if you haven't read The Secret is amazing. It's a great book. The first time that I listened to it on audiobook, I thought, this is a bunch of hocus pocus. You've got to be kidding me. And I listened to it, but it was begrudgingly. And then I started thinking a little bit more. And I remember the first time, I was driving to Tillamook to go do a presentation. And I'm listening as I'm driving. I'm like, this thing is cracked out. There's no way that this is really true. In my head, all this negative self-talk. And then I listened to it again. And things started happening in my life, and there was definitely a shift. So if you haven't read or listened to The Secret, I highly recommend that you do. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Yeah. It's also on Netflix as a movie, which is, it's like a documentary. And it's just called The Secret. But she says you have to put things into the present as if it's already taken place. So not I want to, or I wish for, or my goal is. You write everything down as if it's already happened. So in June, I have had 40 conversations. I have sponsored 10 new preferred clients. I have sponsored 5 new independent consultants, and my personal volume is $5,000 or whatever you want it to be. But write it down and say it out loud. It triggers all these different things. So since Jen hasn't popped back on, I don't know what's. We'll go back up to staying plugged in. So the best part about our business is the people and our team and making that connection. And I'll share Jen's story. I took her to a team meeting that's in Chico. So Rhiannon, who's my sponsor, has her team meetings in Chico. And so I go periodically down there, and I took her as a guest because it happened to work out. And I honestly never thought she was interested in the business, but I know she'd used the products a couple times. I know she's a mom of 2 girls, and she works on a ranch, and she works really hard, and she never gets away. And I was like, why don't you come to this meeting with me? It'll be a road trip. And she was like, all right. And because of the camaraderie, because of the support, because of having a little adult time, she then decided that she was going to start her business and be able to help other people who are in the same scenario have that opportunity. And I know Shannon has similar experience when she went to a meeting down there. You want to share your thoughts?
It was a lot of fun, except for getting back at 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, it was nice to see Jen and to go down with her. Obviously, the product totally speaks for itself. Anyone that I have convinced to try something has completely fallen in love with it. But the one thing that I recall from that night is just the support and the energy in that room. I mean, you come out of there thinking that you're King Kong the Giant Killer and you can accomplish anything. And it was just a quick 30-minute meeting. And aside from loving the product so much, I just love the business because it's so positive. It couldn't have come into my life at a better time because I just have so much drama around me all the time, working with a ton of women and having to deal with parents. I'm at a school, and it's just being able to not let that consume your life and remember that there's positive in the world and there's support. Even though Arbonne is over here and the school's over here, they're 2 totally different things. That positivity just helps you overlook all of this. Not that you don't have to deal with it, it just keeps you mentally and emotionally up here and you don't start crashing down into all of that.
So Monday night we have our nation trainings. So every Monday night at 8 o'clock, we have nation trainings by different people within us. So you get to hear from different members of our team. And it's best if you can get on live because then you can feel and hear. If there's just something about that. But if you can't, they're always recorded. And so I recommend listening Tuesday morning. They're on our Facebook page. make that the first thing you do Tuesday morning is to hear, because it's powerful.
I have to do that a lot.
Listening to a Learn and Burn or a podcast every day will change your life. And coming from education where you're supposed to be learning things, it was never encouraged to do anything for yourself or to build yourself to be better. And so it took me a long time to get into the swing of personal development. And so the Learn and Burns are put out by Arbonne. There are hundreds available, and you can search by things like, how do you do stuff online? What about products? What about doing events for men? What about, they're out there.
These are on your podcast.
Learn and Burns on the Arbonne website under the source. And so every morning I would suggest listening to something. They're like 10 minutes to 30 minutes, none are longer than 30 minutes. So while you're, doing your hair or driving to work, I would highly recommend, just because it gets your mind in the right space. Kelsey, do you want to share about your favorite training?
Yes. So I actually started as a consultant like in 2013 and have definitely fallen off the wagon hard. So I think getting back into the Learn and Burns, and the one that most recently stuck with me that I'm completely obsessed with and listen to at least 2 to 3 times a week is, I'm going to butcher her last name, but it's Kelly Eureka. Yeah, I butchered it, but it's called Invisible Forces. And it's really relatable to me. She talks about, and she's very visual in her explanations, which I'm also a very visual person. But what she does is she goes through and she makes you write a list of your 10 top fears. And so you write your 10 and then you set that aside, and then she goes through this analogy and this in-depth visual explanation of these women at a track meet who are getting ready to do like the 100-meter hurdle races. And so what she does is she goes and she's explaining each runner in each lane. And so like the first one is a gymnast who's obviously super fit and in shape, and you automatically think that she's going to do awesome and she's going to do great. And then she gets to tell them the story about these other persons. The gymnast ends up crawling and like barely finishing the race. The gal in lane 2 is more focused on what whoever's in the audience, what they're doing or what they're thinking. And so what that does is then towards the end, it translates into those hurdles being our fears and the audience being our friends, our family members, and how that's a fear, especially for me, on what people are going to think of me. And it's like, oh, she's just another one of those trying to get rich quick teams, things like that. Or, what people think about my post on Facebook, and just getting to a point to where, and she says, nobody else pays your bills, so why care? Why is any of their business? Or why let them control your future and your financial freedom? So it's really good. It's like 24 minutes. So if you have time and you are struggling with some fears or some anxieties like me, I would highly recommend it. It's great. And I love her hurdle analogy.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Judy, do you have a favorite one too?
I haven't really listened to much of them.
Okay.
So,
What about the Debbie Neal one from this week?
well, I need to take notes. When I do, I would love to talk about her because I think she's awesome. She is really inspirational. Have you guys listened to the Debbie Neal ones that she put on? Huh?
Couple of them.
Yeah, I love her. But let me take some notes and I'll gladly talk about it next time because I just do it when I'm cleaning at my first job. Anyway, and so it's like I'm just listening. I'm not like taking notes, but yeah, I really like listening to her though. So.
Yeah, she's on fire.
She is.
Maybe she kind of reminds me of you.
I'm on fire lately.
I feel like you and Debbie would have fun.
Probably.
Oh yeah, I really.
And I just have a notebook, and so every day when I'm listening to whatever, I just write down things that resonate with me, or things that I feel like, oh, that's a weakness of mine, like I need to own it and move on from it and not be scared of it. And so every, when do I start this? January. And I'm almost out of paper. So every couple of months, I just start a new one and just take some notes. But I do a lot of just when I'm driving, listening, when you're driving and getting that headspace right. Because I would say 80% of our business is between our ears. It has nothing to do with anything else than our own self-confidence and just following the system. And so speaking of system, I know that Rhiannon spoke to our System for Success last month, but we're going to be starting a group of just like my team members, so just like you guys, who are interested in moving your business to the next level. Like if you're serious about wanting to make money or understanding like, hey, this is what we do and this is how we sponsor somebody and this is the next thing. Running out of time. I know, I'm running out of time. Shush. If you're interested in that, let me know and I'll add you to that, because it's the first of the month. It's the perfect time to get started. We're actually going to, I'm going to shoot some stuff out probably tomorrow on that. So if you're interested in the System for Success and really figuring that out, I know that Kelsey's in already. Then we'll get that going, because there's tremendous success to be had if that's what you choose to. The other thing that I want to do for our team is to do a healthy happy hour, both a virtual one and an in-person one for our whole team. So if you have somebody who's like, hey, I'm interested, and they don't want to host, or it didn't line up, but you feel like they need some more than just like, here's the s'more page or here's the video. I would like to do an in-person healthy happy hour on Wednesday, May 15th. And so I'd like to be able to have, if everybody can bring a couple of people, it'll really make it good. And so we can share recipes, we can do some taste testing. I'm not sure where yet, but May 15th is a Wednesday, so if you can mark that on your calendar. And then I would also like to do a virtual one on Wednesday, May 8th, probably at 8:30. So later in the evening, when people have, kind of decompressed for the day, they can have their phone or their laptop out, and it'll be 20 minutes max, but an overview of the Happy Living program. And so if you want to plug in people to that, I'll get that set up too. So May 8th, the virtual one, and that's for, that way we can kind of conglomerate and really time leverage. And then the 15th, an in-person healthy happy hour.
What time?
Probably 6:30.
Okay.
That way people can, come from work. So those 2 dates are things for our team. And then the call to action is for this month is and I wrote it down on the bottom of the agenda too. So our call to action is for the next 30 days, post 1 time a day. How are you incorporating Arbonne into your life? So it not a picture of product, like you doing something. And every person that likes or comments, you follow up with them. Okay, so those will give you more people to reach out to. Okay, so that's the challenge. 30 days, 1 post a day. It's like a minute. And then recommended reading. So I set a goal for myself, because I'm not a reader, to read one a month. And so one book that I have read is Get Over Your Damn Self. It's awesome. Highly recommended. I listened to it on Audible, and her voice is like your older sister that's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, I love it. But it's really, for me, it was very, it hit home. And it's like, okay, I have a college education. I have 2 master's degrees. I have all this stuff. And I'm not using it. No, I am really using it, because now I'm able to help more people. So the Get Over Your Damn Self is a great book. And so if you have Audible, it's on Audible. If you haven't used Audible yet, I can share it with you for free because you get your first book for free. But it's a great listen or read. So highly recommend that. And when I first started, Deanna Herron told me that leaders are readers, and I'm like, I don't know, I never. Like, I'm not such a slacker. No, it's true. Like, it makes such a big difference. So I would recommend that one. So that is all I have, and I didn't even get kicked off Zoom. We are still in time. So Kelsey, thank you for jumping on with us and sharing.
Yeah, thanks for allowing the Zoom thing to happen, because that's a nice little 8-hour drive for me.
Yes, even though, I drove by your old house just to, wave at your favorite bum, but he wasn't there anymore.
I know, I miss the guy in the little white van and his cute little dog.
Well, thank you, and we will be chatting soon.
Sounds good. Bye.
See ya.